What is up, everybody? It is Autotech Aaron here. Welcome to the channel and welcome back to another nasty love build video. In today's video, I have something very exciting, a part that I am extremely excited to install because this is a massive milestone in the build, and that is this part right here. Excuse the mess in the back of the truck, but this is our drive shaft from a local machine shop here called CMS, Commercial Machine Service, in Kalispell, Montana. They hooked me up. This thing was only like $325, I think. We're gonna go ahead and get this truck jacked up and put this drive shaft in, fill up our transmission, and then we're gonna do some testing of all the gears, the clutch and everything, make sure that the rear wheels are spinning and everything is working how it's supposed to. So let's get to work. So it turns out my torque wrench is not functioning right. Can't trust those Harbor Freight Collect style torque wrenches. Learned that one the hard way. So I got them pretty tight on here. I don't think they're too tight. Just basically wrist tight with a 3/8. I'm gonna go get a replacement torque wrench and double check the torque on these later on. So we have this AMSOIL transmission fluid here. We're just pumping it in. It takes about 3 quarts. There you have it, the fluid is full. Now let's go ahead and put that fill plug back in and see if the rear tires spin on this thing. I'm gonna open up my garage door, get this thing fired up, and then we will see if those rear wheels are gonna spin. Alright guys, as you saw there, the rear wheels are spinning, it shifts through the gears, the clutch is working. This is an extremely exciting moment for me. Basically all we have to do to get this thing roadworthy is tie up a couple of little things. I have a brake fluid leak in the rear that I have to fix. I just have to reflare it. We have to hook up the whole cooling system, which will be a bit of a process, but other than that, this thing is almost ready to take out on the street for the first test drive. All right guys, we are back. It is the next day. Last night we got the driveline in and got the rear wheel spinning. Pretty exciting stuff. Now we're gonna work on the cooling system, and we gotta take off this bumper, this valence here, and then we're gonna cut out this core support basically from here all the way to here, all the way up, all the way across. So we're gonna get rid of a huge structural support in the truck. At that point, that'll probably make this thing a death trap. Well, I guess more of a death trap than it is already. But I might eventually weld in a support that goes across. But for the time being, we're gonna get it just so that the radiator fits and so that we can plumb the whole cooling system and all of that. So to start, let's go ahead and get this bumper off. Alright, with the last bolt out, now we can just wiggle this thing off of here. There you have it. Wires pop right out. Now I'm going to go put this off to the side. With the headlights out, we now have access to this bolt on both sides so we can get this valence off. I believe those are just some 10 millimeters. And we'll go ahead and get this pulled off and get our front end measured out, see what we're gonna have to cut, and then start cutting. Okay, there we go. And that just comes right off. And now we're gonna get this all measured out and start cutting. And that should be good enough right there. So I'm going to start out by getting rid of some of this material that we know is getting removed. I'm just going to make a rough cut here and there. Then we'll get working on these more precise cuts like right here. And I'm just gonna probably use a Sawzall for most of this and maybe clean it up with the cutoff wheel on a grinder. And here we go. Oh, there goes some safety. Wow, that actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it was gonna. Now let's continue cutting. So we were gonna have interference issues with the radiator being all the way out here and the grill, but as long as we just cut out right here, we should be okay. That does leave some good structure in this valence panel. So I'm gonna pull this back off and get it cut out from here to here, all the way across. And then we'll put the valence panel back on and see if the radiator fits then. All right, let's see how that fits. We have our radiator in here and we got it to fit behind the valence panel here. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but it just barely clears the snout of the water pump. So I'm gonna start out by cutting the spacers that are gonna go between the radiator and what's left of the core support there. We'll get some nuts tacked on there, get them welded on so that we can run our bolts through. All right, guys, it is the next day. I apologize for the noise, but not really. Now we just have to make these bottom mounts for the radiator. I have my 3/16 plate steel, which was ridiculously expensive. We're gonna cut out some strap pieces and make some bottom mounts. So let's stop talking and start doing. So we have our lower mounts here. I'm just gonna tack these on. After I had them tacked on, I double checked the fitment and then went ahead and final welded them. Now let's cool that off, paint all this up a little bit, and then final mount our radiator. We got basically everything cleaned up. Now I'm just gonna throw on some self-etching primer and some black spray paint down below and white spray paint up top. So I went through and put on some self-etching primer, hit it with some black. Now I'm gonna touch up these tops with some white paint and we'll call it good. I have all the white laid down. Now we're gonna pull off all this masking tape. And there we go, there's the finished product. I did end up welding in some patch panels right there and there, but this is looking really good. I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. It's gonna look like doo-doo with the rest of the engine bay how it is, but I'm not really worried about that. So our next step is to mount our radiator for the final time. I'm gonna do that tomorrow after all this paint cures. Okay, so it is the next day here and I'm about to put my radiator back on. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and toss the alternator assembly back on before, just so that we have all the room to do it. We'll put our radiator back on and then measure for our radiator hoses there and go by the auto parts store and see if maybe we can find something in stock that we can use for a hose. Okay, so long story short, the first belt that I got was 69 inches long and that one was too short. I went back to the auto parts store, got a 73-inch belt. That one was too long, and then we got this 71-inch belt, which just so happened to be the perfect size. We can put our radiator back on, make our bottom hose, because I went and got a new hose to replace the one that I cut too short, and then we can put on our upper hose, make this little guy right here, and then fill up our cooling system. So let's go ahead and get our radiator on. So right now I am working on wiring the exciter wire for the alternator. The exciter wire is a voltage signal that comes to the alternator itself, goes to the voltage regulator, and basically tells the alternator to start charging. So what we need for that is a key on power, which I found over here, and this guy right here, which is a 470 ohm resistor. This resistor goes into this second pin from the left when looking at the connector from the front side, and that just goes in line with a key on power. So this should drop the voltage down. I don't know exactly to what. It's like a 5 volt or an 8 volt reference, but that's just so that it does not fry the internals of the alternator. If you supply a full 12 volts to this, it will fry it. So I'm just working on soldering this together right now, and then I'm going to extend that wire. We'll heat shrink it all up, and the alternator wiring will be done. As you guys can see right here, it's fairly simple. And there you have it. Our resistor is wired in series with our exciter wire. So I'm gonna go ahead, put some heat shrink on this, and then we'll get it on the truck, and that will be the end of this wiring, quick and simple. All right guys, pretty exciting moment, huge fast forward. I went ahead and got all the hoses together off camera. Now we are gonna start filling this thing up with coolant. All right, so I do have a slight little update for you guys. I did try to fill up this cooling system last night, but I ran out of coolant. It took 2.5 gallons, which was all I had here. So I'm gonna have to go get some more coolant. And I did try putting another set of wheels and tires on the front that I borrowed from a friend, but they were still too big. So I'm gonna have to find another set to borrow until my new wheels come in, which won't be for a couple of months, so that we can actually get this thing on the street and drive it. However, that probably won't be for a couple of days. But before I end this video, we're gonna go ahead and put the front end of the truck back together, since we don't really have much else that we can really do to the truck. So without further ado, let's go ahead and put this valance back on the truck. Okay, there we go. Now let's put the headlights back in so she can see. There we go. All right, now for my favorite part here, we are going to be putting the grill back on. I cut off one of the mounting tabs on the passenger side just because I knew it was going to be in the way. But, I mean, that looks like it fits pretty well. I'll probably put a zip tie through the radiator here just to hold this up. But that is looking pretty snazzy. All right, now let's go ahead and get our headlight bezels on, and then the front end will be back together. All right, now let's get these bezels back on. So there we have it. The headlight bezels are on, we got the grill on and the valance, and this thing is starting to look really complete. I am extremely excited to get this thing on the road. And as I said earlier, I borrowed a set of wheels and tires from a friend. They didn't fit, and the wheels and tires that I already have for the truck also don't really fit without hitting the fenders. Now I could cut them, but I'm not gonna cut them until I get my other offset wheels, which are coming in the mail sometime in the next couple of months. So until then, I will have to find a set of wheels and tires to borrow. Hopefully I'll get some in the next day or two. Anyways, I do apologize, guys. I did want to have this thing on the road for this episode for you guys today, but I can promise you that it will be on the road and driving in the next video. That is going to bring this video to a close, everybody. We did get a lot of progress done. This thing is almost roadworthy. And like I said, you're not going to want to miss the next episode because this bad boy is going to be on the street. So be sure to subscribe if you aren't already. Hit the like button. Drop a couple of comments on what you think about the build so far. And guys, let's get to building nasty love.